space pirates. We all wanna be space pirates. We all want to be space pirates.
Welcome back, friends. It's good to see you again. Dennis here, coming directly from the Cincinnati Razorback Room in beautiful Siloam Springs, Arkansas. Today's topic, simple, it's going to get involved a little bit, but it's going to keep it as simple as possible. We're going to talk about respins and the challenge, instant replay, okay? People have been calling and asking about it and sending emails about it, posting it on the Facebook page. By the way, if you're not a member of our group on the Facebook page, you need to join. It's Star Power Baseball on Facebook. 150 people or so are in it right now, 130. A lot of folks. Good place to see files, new cards, all kinds of cool stuff happening there. Also, check out make sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel where this video is. And be sure and like it, share it, whatever. We appreciate that. Okay, shout out there to all the folks that are helping us out. We'd like to thank the folks down at Fast Signs in Springdale for giving us great game boards. A lot of other people have helped. And also check it out. Podcasts are now available on Spotify, and I think they're on iTunes also, and that's under Star Power Cast. Gentry and I do those. Enough commercials. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. You've asked to see it. Let's talk about respins. Okay, first of all, let's get into the easy styles of respins. There are two kinds of respins. The first one is called a natural respin, or you can call it a mechanical respin. This is a respin that is built directly into the pitching card. For example, a hit minus. Spin the batter. If the batter gets a hit of any kind, single, double, triple, homer, respin the batter. Simple. Those are called natural or mechanical respins. They include hit, batter doesn't get a hit, respin it. Hit minus, batter gets a hit, respin the batter. Walk, batter doesn't get a walk, spin the batter. Walk minus, batter does get a walk, respin the batter. Home run minus, batter spins a home run, respin the batter. And let me think, the other one would be the HW. Batter doesn't get a hit or a walk, respin the batter. Those are natural respins, okay? H minus, W minus, home run minus, and HW. Okay, those are natural built-in respins. Okay? Simple. When to use those respins is something we'll finish up the video with. The second type of respin that we have, the second type is called a player respin. On your cards that you have, your gorgeous Star Power Baseball cards, on the back of the lifetime cards, and if they're single season, then on the front of the single season card, there will be a plus number. It might say +0, +1, +2, all the way up in a pitcher's case to +4, and a batter +2 is max on a batter. I kicked the camera. Earthquake, ooh. These are player respins. And these respins are used to make either card respin the card. For example, I have a batter up, let's say Frank Robinson. Frank Robinson has 2 respins on his card. He's facing Satchel Paige. Satchel Paige has 4 respins on his card. Satchel Paige spins his card and spins a B as in boy. Satchel Paige decides to respin that card. No problem. That's a player respin. Perfectly within his right to do that. Satchel respins and spins a K. Frank, sit down, you're out. Let's put it a different way. Satchel respins, Satchel starts out, he's got 4 respins, Frank's got 2. Satchel spins an F for fly ball. Frank Robinson, with his 2 respins, says, stop, respin that F. He can make Satchel respin. That's what a player respin does. Satchel respins it and gets a B. Well, Satchel wants to respin. But our rule in the book says you cannot respin a respin. So Frank made you respin, you got a B, Frank gets to play with the B. That's the way that it is. Now, if Frank spins and spins a double, Satchel can make him respin using one of his 4 respins. Okay? So now it becomes a strategy game. All right? We're no longer worried about those little things like lineup shuffling or the small things that all the other games have, the hit and runs, the stealing bases. No, we're actually going to play now. It becomes now, how well do I use my respins and when do I use my respins on certain plays? Okay? Do I use my pitcher respins early in a game to stop rallies? Do I use my batter respin in the first inning? When do I use this? That's what you, the only time you as a player of the game get to use strategic knowledge and strategic guessing when to use them. That's what makes Star Power Baseball so exciting, is you get to play. Now, you're not going to swing the bat, but you are going to increase your odds of the result of the spin coming out in your favor using your respins wisely. Okay? Now, natural or mechanical respins are the ones built in to the pitching card. Okay? Player respins are the plus numbers on the back of the lifetime cards and on the front of the single season cards. Okay? That's how we have respins. We have formulas that over the years we have made much, much better as to where the cutoffs are for these respins. So it's consistent and it's based upon performance against their peers. It's based upon ERA plus for pitchers and it's based upon OPS plus for batters. Okay? Simple. Now, let's talk about the next thing. The latest and greatest of the big rules of Star Power Baseball. We all know that Star Power Baseball was the first ones to come out with, if the spin lands on the line, the lefty-righty matchup determines who gets to choose the adjacent result. For example, a spin lands on the line between the 1 and the 10. If it's a lefty-lefty matchup, the pitcher's going to choose a 10. If it's a lefty-righty matchup, the batter's going to choose the 1. Okay? This is where the challenge or the instant replay rule comes in. Once a game, whether you win it or whether you lose it, one time during the game, you may challenge a line spin that goes against you. For example, Bob Gibson pitching to Frank Robinson gets a B, spin the batter. Frank Robinson spins a 110 line. Bob Gibson says, I got this. That's a strikeout. But Frank Robinson challenges the call. How do we do it? Take the injury card. The person that challenges spins the injury card. It lands on a number. Then the person that got challenged spins the injury card. The player that is second, the challenged player, must either equal or beat the player that challenged. So if Frank Robinson challenges the 110 line against Bob Gibson and Frank spins a 6, Bob Gibson must spin a 6 or higher on the injury card for the call on the field to stand. Okay? If the challenger wins, the call on the field is overturned. That's how simple that it is. Now, we'll touch on one more thing, and then we'll get into a little bit of strategy. Guys, girls, all of you all out there, listen good. If you're going to use a challenge, you may, after the challenge is over, win or lose. If you are able to, you may use a respin. For example, here you go. Bob Gibson, Frank Robinson. Bob Gibson spins a hit minus. The spin lands on the line between the 13 and the 4. Okay? Bob Gibson chooses the 4 because he's got the lines. Frank Robinson challenges the call. Using instant replay, Frank spins a 6. Bob Gibson spins the injury card and spins a 5. The call on the field is overturned. Okay? Now it becomes a hit minus. Robinson chooses the 13, and there is a natural mechanical respin involved. Frank Robinson gets to respin the card. How about that? So there you go. If you have respins in the game and you want to challenge a call, challenge the call first before you use your respins. Okay. I'm going to give you an example of something that happened not long ago, and you got to follow me. We had Lance Berkman batting against, I want to say it was Ryan Duran. Okay? Ryan Duran pitches. No, it was against Satchel Paige. That's who it was. Satchel was out of respins, but he wasn't tired, and Satchel spun a hit minus. Okay? The spin landed on the 10, anyway, the spin landed on the 10-1 line. Lance Berkman chooses the 1. Satchel Paige has a hit minus. Berkman has to respin, and he spun a 3. That's how that actually happened in a game we just played. So anyway, think about how to use your challenge, when to use your respins. That's what we're going to talk about now for just a couple minutes. When is a good time for you as a player of Star Power Baseball to use your respins? And how do you use your respins? Let's take the 2020 World Series set that a lot of you are having right now. You have it in your possession right now. It was on the Facebook page. I just took it down yesterday. Anyway, if I'm using the Dodgers and I'm using that bullpen, my respins are seldom going to go to your batter. I'm going to usually use my respins spinning my bullpen. Makes sense. My pitchers are so powerful, and they mostly have 2, 3, and 4 respins that I'm going to use them as I use my as I use my pitchers. So I'm going to spin Trainian, and he's going to spin a B, and I say, I'm going to respin that, spins a K, we're done. Same thing with the Tampa Bay Rays. You're going to respin those pitchers on their respins. When are we going to do this? Well, if you have an R1 pitcher, an S2 pitcher, you're going to use it before those innings go down. That's for sure. Make sure you the one thing that I hate to see when I play somebody is when you leave a respin on the table that could have helped you in the game. That's what we built this game for, is for you to be able to respin and play and use strategy instead of just being a lineup shuffler, instead of just shuffling cards back and forth. You get to make decisions that directly affect the probabilities on the game. Makes sense to me, and that's what makes it fun. Love to have those pitchers that are S6s, S7, S8s with 2 and 3 and 4 respins, just like those R1s with 4 respins, like a Tom Hankey or a Trevor Hoffman or a Mariano Rivera or a Satchel Paige or a Cy Young or a Walter Johnson or Clayton Kershaw. All of these pitchers dominate the game, and they have these respins built into their cards, or they have player respins to use also. Think about it when you get ready to play. Keep spinning. Stay with us. Podcast comes out in a day. We've already got 2 episodes of the podcast out. Third one's going to be cut this weekend. More on the way there. New sets of cards that are already out there. We had the, let's see what we have. They're $8 a set, and we've got the free agent sets 1, 2, and 3 out there. All 3 of those sets are out. We've got the 2020 National League Central, and coming this weekend, we're going to introduce the 2020 American League East set of the 2020 cards. These are cards that were not out in 2019. They're new. The only one duplication that we've had so far is Paul Goldschmidt. Live with it. Now coming out this weekend also. Coming up. This is like the middle of November, last weekend in November. Coming up, the 2020 winners. Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, and MVP winners all coming out now. Hall of Fame elections are coming up in January. We'll have the update set available to all you people that have the set, so you don't have to worry about that. Latest and greatest thing that's out right now, single season teams. They're out there. We've got about a dozen of them already produced in Star Power format for your convenience. All square, cut out, ready to go. $5 a pop. That includes postage. Look on the website on the Star Power Baseball group in Facebook under the Files section, and you'll see what teams are available. I just posted that today. I'd like to thank all of you for joining our group. Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Thank you for playing Star Power Baseball. And from the Cincinnati Razorback Room in beautiful Siloam Springs, Arkansas, stay safe and keep spinning.
We all want to be space pirates. We all want